Swan Lake, Chapter 1. Far, far away in a deep, dark forest, there was a lake known as Swan Lake. On the lake, some small swans were gliding gracefully in a circle, and in the middle of the circle there was a bigger swan. This swan was different from all the other swans. It was the most beautiful swan on the lake. The big swan glided sadly but gracefully on the clear water. It was looking at something in the sky, but nobody knew why it was silent and sad. Swan Lake, although beautiful, held a secret. When the sun set, the big swan turned into a beautiful young woman. The woman was a princess, and her name was Odette. Odette had been cursed by an evil wizard called Rockford, as he hated her kind heart and gentle ways. The only way to break the spell was if Odette found true love. Odette, still cursed. I see. Ha ha ha. Haven't you broken the spell yet? Mocked the evil wizard. Laugh all you want, said Odette. My true love will come one day and save me, evil Rockford. True love? Ha ha ha! Who will find you in this dark forest? Who will love a swan? Where can you find true love? There is no true love in the world, said Rockford. I'm sure I will find true love. I am sure I will find it. I feel and think it's very near. Maybe in this isolated dark forest, said Odette sadly. No one will dare come near or love you, Odette, said Rockford. You will be forever alone, swimming here in this dark forest. You are under my spell, and you will be under my curse forever. I will break this curse one day, said Odette sadly. Ha ha ha! You live in a world of dreams. Dream no more, Odette. No one will ever save you, said Rockford. Ha ha ha! Rockford left Odette crying and wishing for help. Where can I find true love? In this forest? In this castle? In my dreams? Oh, happiness, come soon. Let me get rid of this wicked wizard. True love will come one day. My heart says he will come, Odette said to herself. Morning came, and the sun shone brightly. Odette turned into a swan, gliding sadly but gracefully on Swan Lake. Chapter 2. Prince Siegfried and the Swan. In a kingdom not far away from the forest lived a handsome prince called Siegfried. His father, the king of the land, had died, and since then everyone in the kingdom had forgotten how to smile. The old king had been wise, kind, and generous to everyone. All the people were sad when he died. Without his father, Siegfried thought that he would never feel happy again. Every day, Siegfried sat at the window in his spacious room, looking at the forest in the distance. He saw the animals in the forest playing with each other. They ate, jumped, and moved freely. They played with each other and had friends. They laughed and ran in the forest. They smiled. They were happy. Siegfried looked at the birds flying and singing freely and happily. He sighed and said, "How can the birds sing and fly happily? How can the animals eat, run, jump, and climb trees? But I can't. Why do they smile but I don't? Do they feel happy? They cannot feel like me," said Siegfried to himself. His servant Benno tried to make the prince smile by telling him jokes or doing funny tricks for him, but the prince wouldn't smile. It was all in vain. One day the prince and Benno decided to go hunting in the forest. They mounted their strong horses and took some food and weapons to hunt horses and foxes. "Here, horse, let's see how strong you are. Let's go swimming. Let's go somewhere far away from here. Let's find a happy place where I can find happy people," said the prince to the horse. "Yes, dear friend, let's go somewhere far away from here. We may find a better place where you can be happy and smile as before," said Benno. The horses kicked their hooves up in the air and galloped at full speed out of the kingdom towards the forest in the distance. Prince Siegfried couldn't control his horse, and no matter how much he tried, the horse kept going on and on through the forest. Soon they reached an opening and saw a large lake, which was Swan Lake. The horse suddenly stopped, and the Prince Siegfried was thrown off into a pile of leaves. "What a horrible day! What a horrible horse! Bad horse! You'll pay for this! Can't you gallop properly?" shouted Siegfried at the horse. Benno had done his best to keep pace and couldn't believe how fast the horse had been running. Benno looked angrily at the horse. He wanted the prince to be happy, but now the prince was sitting in a pile of leaves, shouting and groaning. But as the prince and Benno turned, they saw Swan Lake in front of them. The prince was so surprised that he almost forgot about his bad day. He slumped down near some bushes and stared out at the lake. "Finally, some peace and quiet," said the prince to his friend. The prince and Benno saw many white swans playing on the water. One of the swans was very beautiful and had a gold crown on its head that only princesses wear. The swan looked at the prince, then opened its wings and cried out. "I think it's trying to tell me something," Siegfried told Benno. Benno had his crossbow in his hand and wanted to shoot the swan. "I'll get that swan for you, my prince." "No, Benno, it's the most beautiful swan on the lake. It's different. Don't kill it, Benno, said Siegfried, looking at the swan on the lake. No, my prince, it's not different. It's only a swan. Let me shoot it, my prince, said Benno, as he was going to shoot the swan. But suddenly, before Benno could shoot, a magic owl flew from the darkness of the forest and cast a spell on Benno, and he was turned into a stone statue. Benno, what has happened to you? Speak to me. You are stone now. How can I speak to a statue? How can I smile and be happy again? Said Siegfried sadly. The prince couldn't understand what was happening and returned to the palace sadder than before. He thought that nothing would make him as happy as before.